We're very pleased to welcome the games of the Japanese developer Visco to Evercade, thanks to our partnership with the current rights holders Pixel Heart. These two cartridges give a broad overview of the many and varied games that Visco worked on over the years, with this first cartridge focusing primarily on the company's earlier work. There's some great shoot 'em up action on Visco Arcade 1 for Evercade, along with some solid sports fun and two very different ways to have fun in a car. Let's take a closer look at what's on offer. Probably one of Visco's more famous games, Andro Dunos was first released in 1992 and has seen a number of subsequent re-releases. It's a horizontally scrolling shoot 'em up in which you battle the relentless forces of an unknown invading life form, and its unique selling point is your ship's ability to switch between 4 different attack patterns. Each pattern configures your shots, bombs, homing missiles and defensive units differently, and each component of your weapon system can be upgraded independently by collecting the appropriate tokens. Like most shoot 'em ups, Andro Dunos offers a stiff but rewarding challenge to take on, and it can be enjoyed either solo or with a friend on Evercade VS, VSR and Alpha, plus Nexus later in the year. Originally released in 1990, Ashura Blaster is one of several vertically scrolling shoot 'em ups from Visco's back catalogue. In this game, you take command of a cutting-edge jet helicopter named Ashura as you attempt to fight back against the rebel army known as Guerrilla Tamas. Your chopper has several different weapon types you can switch between by collecting the appropriate coloured tokens. Plus, prior to each mission, you can choose the type of bomb you'll use from 4 different types, including a large explosion, a series of smaller explosions covering a wider area, a sweeping fire wave, and an orbital strike from a satellite laser beam. Blast your way through the game solo, including in Tate mode on Evercade EXP, EXPR and Nexus later in the year, or bring a friend for additional firepower on Evercade VS, VSR and Alpha. First released in 1989, Asuka Asuka is another vertically scrolling shoot 'em up. This time around, the game is set in the near future of 1996, and the dreaded Galaxy Hyter has started attacking Earth, not just in the here and now but throughout history too. You, and optionally a friend on suitable devices, must jump in your state-of-the-art Asuka fighter attack aircraft and blast them to Kingdom Come, then enter warp space to deal with the attacks on the world's history. The Asuka is armed with 3 different weapons which you can switch between and power up by collecting the appropriate tokens, plus a stock of bombs for when things get really hectic. Play on the big screen with Evercade VS and VSR, play in Tate mode on Evercade EXP, EXPR and Nexus, and enjoy the authentic arcade feel on Evercade Alpha. The Drift Out series of rally racing games is probably Visco's most famous work, and on Visco Arcade 1 for Evercade you can see where it all began. Pick from 7 different not quite real cars including the Ford Sierra, Toyota Celica and Lancia Delita, and get behind the wheel to challenge 6 different races and take the championship. Each car has a different top speed and handling characteristics, so be sure to try them all and see which one is your favourite. Later games in the Drift Out series adopted a quasi 3D isometric viewpoint, but this first entry makes use of a top-down perspective with the scenery rotating around you as you slam your car around the corners. Hold on tight to that controller. It's time for another vertically scrolling shoot 'em up, and this time it unfolds in the distant future, the year 2026. In Earth Joker UN Defense Force, you'll pick between 4 different characters, each of whom has their own aircraft and loadout of weapons, and take the fight to the Slito forces that have taken over the Earth. Battle enemies with regular and charged shots, and add additional capabilities to your aircraft by collecting option tokens. These can also be detonated for a devastating bomb blast. Like the other shoot 'em ups in this collection, you can enjoy Earth Joker UN Defense Force solo, or bring along a friend for extra firepower on Evercade VS, VSR and Alpha, plus Nexus later in the year. And on Evercade EXP and EXPR, you can enjoy the action in Tate mode. Galmedes is the last of the shoot 'em ups on Visco Arcade 1 for Evercade, and this time around it's full-on sci-fi spaceship shooter action as you blast off to battle against the forces of the evil dictator Gildy. 1 or 2 players can battle the enemy forces using the grandiosely named Launched Electro-Projectile Thermal Osmotic Nullifier, or Lepton to its friends. This multifunctional weapon system can be switched between laser, wide and multi-directional torrid shots according to the situation. Power up your weapons by collecting tokens, and do your best to survive against the relentless enemy forces. As with other vertically scrolling shoot 'em ups on Evercade, you can enjoy the action of Galmedes on a big screen with Evercade VS and VSR, handheld, including in Tate mode with Evercade EXP, EXPR and Nexus later in the year, and in the authentic arcade form factor with Evercade Alpha. The World Cup may be over at the time of recording, but that doesn't mean you have to stop having fun with the footy. In Goal Goal Goal, you can take command of your favourite international team and compete on the world stage to prove your soccer skills and strategy. Play solo and attempt to win the tournament, or compete against a friend on Evercade VS, VSR and Alpha, plus Nexus later in the year. Pick a formation and play strategically. Can you take your favourite international team to the top? The final game on Visco Arcade 1 for Evercade is one of the company's more unusual games. Maze of Flott is a maze game that puts you in a heavily armed vehicle and challenges you to recover as much treasure as possible from various buildings. Yep, you can just drive right on in there. You'll also need to track down various keys to escape each stage and keep an eye on your fuel level. And of course, you're not alone in your efforts. Use the on-screen radar and a range of different weapons to contend with the enemy cars, and nab as many valuables as you can to make sure you have enough money to rearm yourself before each new level. Watch out for tricks and traps in the buildings. Just because you're in a car doesn't mean you're safe. Visco Arcade 1 is available for Evercade from August 2026. Find out more on the official website.